is a really special person, and there's a lot of people from Hillsborough here from the 1970s that remember Carter T. Williams. And when you say that name, if you're like me, it just kind of brings a smile to your face because of the personality, the charisma that Carter Williams had. Always had a good story, always had a good laugh, made you laugh. Carter was coaching here from 1969 to 79. I'm real glad that there's a lot of the family, and I hope Patsy's going to introduce those people when she comes up here. Carter had coached at some high schools, Paint Rock, Pittsburgh over in East Texas, another one in West Texas, I forget which one it was, but then in Cayuga over in East Texas. So he came here in 1969 and left a real big footprint here. Had 2 national tournament teams in 1971 and 1974. Some of those players are here tonight. But was all, more important than the winning, even though they went to the national tournament, and we're going to read about that. That's all on the plaque. I think just the personality and the big footprint that he left in Hillsborough with he and his family, the 4 kids, and Carter and Patsy lived in Laughlin Hall over here, where Joanne, we had 2 kids in there, then we moved out, so had some endurance to stay over there. He was quite the personality, but the thing I liked about Carter is he never forgot where he came from. A couple of his first players, Dickie Matkin, I found out this week, was actually from Pittsburgh, Texas, and moved to Fort Worth, so he got him once he came to Hill. Mr. Shad from Cayuga was a high school player for Carter, and so he's always real loyal to the people he had been with. I don't know if Johnny Nickerson has made it here. He was a baseball coach here in the early 70s, but he's supposed to fly in from Nashville. He was here and helped Carter out. And then after Carter left years later, if he was within 75 miles of Hillsborough and he had some kind of ailment, he found Dr. Skip Johnson, who's here, and that was his doctor. So once Carter was with you, he was loyal to you all the way. A couple of things on Carter real quick, because he was kind of a mentor for me and a colleague. I didn't play for him, but he just loved life and loved surprises and loved conversations and discussions. So one of the things after I got here a couple of years, I didn't really know much about junior college athletics. I had been on the NCAA level as a player and then coached high school ball, so junior college just a little bit different, and it took me a year or 2 to kind of adjust to junior college basketball. So Carter, the second year I was here, he was over at Kilgore. We went on a little trip over to Mississippi and Alabama, and he was going to kind of help me make some contacts, and of course he always had the unlit cigar, and he was able to talk and hold conversations with that. And I remember we were going over through Tuscaloosa, Alabama, and stopped at a Bonanza or a Western Sizzler steakhouse to eat. And it was about 82 or 83, and we're sitting there eating. There's a cute girl, about 24 years old waitress that's waitressing on us, and Carter's teasing her a little bit. He said, "Well, you a University of Alabama student?" And she says, "Well, I was for about a year, but I'm just working now." He said, "Well, you keep up with the Crimson Tide and old Bear Bryant?" And she said, "Yeah, kind of." He said, "Well, what do you think? Great program, great coach, huh?" She says, "Well, I don't know. He lost 3 or 4 games. I don't know what everybody's talking about." Well, we all know Paul Bear Bryant was a legend, and so Carter kind of gets that twinkle in his eye and looks at him and says, "See, Coach, you're only as good as your last year." And the other thing, when I got to Hill, there was some drawers, and I was going through some stuff, and there was this blue light, a siren. And I asked our baseball coach, Fred Mizzou, I said, "Fred, what's the blue siren? Did John Thornton leave that here? He was here 2 years." Or, "Oh, no, Coach, that's Carter's." And I said, "Well, what's it for?" He was going to put it on top of the gym, and every time Hill won a game, he was going to have that blue police light rotating, and the people on the interstate would be able to see if that thing's going, Hill College won the game. And that was Carter. He always had some ideas, always thinking ahead. Carter coached at 3 other colleges before he got out of coaching, and just always a story. One of the places he coached at was Our Lady of the Lake College in San Antonio, and wouldn't we have all liked to have been a fly on the wall and watched him and the nuns in person? Carter got out of coaching in the 90s, and him and Patsy and his son Vic is in the Kilgore area now, and started doing concessions and souvenirs for a country singer from Jacksonville, Texas. I think he's here tonight, and just enjoyed doing that, and had a great time with life. And so it's a real pleasure for me to have Patsy come up here. I'm going to read the wording that's on the plaque. And Patsy, if you'll go ahead and come on up here and please talk about Carter and all that. Carter Williams served as athletic director and men's basketball coach at Hill College from 1969 to 79. His successful coaching career at Hill College included numerous conference championships, regional tournament appearances, and 2 trips to the National Junior College Athletic Association tournament. Coach Williams' love for fast break basketball and his run, gun, and have fun philosophy was best displayed in his 1971 team, whose trip to the national tournament was the first of its kind in Hill College history. The peak of basketball success, however, came in 1974 when Coach Williams' team finished 5th at the NJCAA tournament. Coach Williams' 27-year basketball coaching career included multiple high school positions as well as head coaching positions at Kilgore College, Our Lady of the Lake University, and Carl Albert Junior College.
I won't keep you long at this because I know there are a lot of other people that you want to see. But I don't know who to thank for putting Carter's name in contention for this or for naming him as the first recipient for a basketball coach here at the Hill Junior College Hall of Fame. One thing, Coach was talking about the baseball field being all grass when he got here. Well, my 3 older children can tell you when we came here it was all dirt. And we went out there and hand-sprigged the infield of that baseball field. But we did live in that dorm for 10 years, and it was a little cramped, but they were 10 of the best years of our lives. We love Hill College, we love Hillsboro, and we have so many friends here tonight that I couldn't even begin to name all of them. Some of them traveled a lot of miles with us for the basketball games. But I do want you to meet my family. My daughter, Melinda, graduated from Hillsboro High School. She's here with her husband, and some of you may recognize him if you follow in music, country music. Neil McCoy is her husband. My son, Will Williams, played football at Hillsboro High School, and then we moved him to Kilgore. And he went to SFA and joined the Army and spent quite a few years in the Army and retired out as major. Woo. Then my other son, Vic Williams. Vic started to coach. When he was going to school, he changed schools several times. And he came in one day and I said, Vic, have you decided what you want to do? And he looked at his daddy and me and said, well, I think I'll coach a little basketball and teach a little math. I said, haven't you been hungry long enough? But he got out of coaching, and now he's an investment advisor for Ameriprise. And then my daughter, Tracy, my youngest child, Skip Johnson delivered her right here at Grant Bowie Hospital. I also have some of my grandchildren here. Swade, Melinda Neal's son. Nikki, Melinda Neal's daughter. Seth, Vic's son. And we have a new one. Well, she's not new, but we have a new Carter Williams, my granddaughter, Carter. It has been a joy to be here tonight and see old friends and having my family together here to witness this. And I'm hoping that I get a chance to visit with you some more at the reception. Thank you for everything. Thank you, Hill College. You have been a large part of our lives, and we're glad to be here. Thank you.
Patsy called me and thanked me about a month ago for getting Carter into the Hill College Hall of Fame, and I missed the first meeting. When I came to the second meeting, we looked at what had happened the first meeting, and it was already done, wasn't it, Preston? So basically, I had nothing to do with the two inductees tonight. If y'all thought that was an inside job or something, it wasn't. It's very appropriate that our second inductee be the person he is, because he had such a great relationship with Coach Williams, even up to this day. Barry Davis played college basketball here for Hill College in the 1973-74 season, and he's still in basketball. He's with Texas A&M. We're glad that him and Mildred and his family could come up tonight. Barry's mom's here, and his sister, and his superstar niece, assistant principal down in Houston. But tickled death that they could come, because Barry's got a ball game in Columbia, Missouri tomorrow at 5 o'clock against the University of Missouri. And he's had tremendous basketball accomplishments. My first introduction to Barry came into Texas A&M, where I already was. He came down and visited his sophomore year at Hill after they'd gone to the Nationals, and we were standing in the hall, and I kind of looked at him, and remember he had this little hat on, and we needed another big man, an aggressive rebounder and that type of thing, and I don't think he's over 6'5" and a half. And so I was like, well, guys, an athlete can play. You can always use a player. And what I found out real quick the next year, he played